All right. So now it is 9:10 in India. Today is 23rd of October 2021. We shall start our discussion of the third universal law, the law of focusing on gap. This law is mainly the law of our growth, the sutra or the clue of having our growth potential, to maximize our growth potential. Spiritually speaking, we have our infinite growth potential. How much we tap into that determines so-called our achievement or success or manifestation. So everything, potential is infinite. So how much we manifest, how much we materialize depend upon, it started with first our intention level, intention to grow. And the intention or the wish list, all of us we have. We wanted to grow, we wanted to be prosperous, we wanted to be abundant, we want to be knowledgeable, we want to be happy, we want to be joyful. Everything is fine. It's not about it. But what happened is that for that growth, for that what we wanted to achieve, we apply the technique, whatever we learned. So in that case, let us go back to our education and see what our education system is teaching us. From the childhood, from the school level, we have been given that you have to win the race, you have to win the competition. You have to come out as, the winner out of this competition, and whether it is a study or sports or any area, and you wanted to get admission to a school, it started from what is called nursery, with a better school, and then ultimately you wanted to have go to a better college. You need competition, you have to win those competitions, and then you get into that, and only top in the list will get admit, rest not. And then when the college, then higher study, then comes to the job. Again, there is a lot of competition, a lot of interview and all, success, this, that. So here we have been in our psyche. It has been drilled into in the concept, whether we are playing as a role of the student or anybody like who are imparting education or parent or something, that key to success is competition. You have to compete with others. And then whatever it is you push, we have to get that in. And this has been, we are programmed with all these things from our childhood. There's nothing wrong in exam. I'm not saying the exams are not good. What I'm saying is that we developed a pattern, educational conditioning, that without competition and coming out of, somebody has to lose, then I will win. So this has been, you can say it is a byproduct of the exercise what we gone through in our childhood days. And similarly, when we come to the professional area, that we come to the thing that unless until I take money from others, my money will not grow. Something of that nature, how to collect, how to make a different mechanism, how to attract that from the others and things like that. So this approach, when we come with the facing the confrontation, okay, few cases you win, you are enjoyed success, that's fine. But statistically speaking, you cannot win all the places, all the conditions, all the competitions. So there will be some phases where we lose and somebody else will win. And slowly, over the period, I say this success rate is reducing, and we are going into the territory where we are a lot of things we are facing. Then what we are doing is we are blaming everybody else outside us, without knowing that our strategy, our approach was fundamentally wrong. We cannot win by going into some place which is full of competition, full of challenges, and obviously everybody is trying the same thing. So it's not waiting for you. Some job has been taken away from you, just you maybe were half an hour late in the interview and things like that. A lot of stories are there. But fundamentally, this approach is that you have to fight to get whatever you need, then only you will grow in your life. This is the message, but this is the learning most of us we programmed into. Okay, and we act accordingly, we behave accordingly, and then when it doesn't work, then we blame everything. We get frustrated, we see the life in the negative way, and most of this come into that and a lot of other things started, and people with unfair practices and corrupt practices and those things. This is a part of the game. All these things will start anyway. So, but fundamental understanding of growth is your own effort is needed, no doubt about it. That's what the previous law says, law of spiral growth. Yeah, that is incremental effort you put every day or regularly so that you grow. That part is there. I'm saying even if you apply that, there is a possibility that in the outside world you will not getting the success. Okay. The main thing, we are not getting the success, as I was saying, our potential is almost infinite. Anything can be as possible. Some people say sky is the limit. So now go into that territory, it cannot possible to do, say, like a stairs. It is not possible to climb the stairs fighting at each and every steps of it. There should be something. And that something is not in front of our eyes, like it is not obvious. There are something, say there are some, the clue, the sutra is there, which we need to find to get the success out of all these things without competing and fighting and wasting our energy into this one. And that clue is gap. We cannot, suppose we wanted to cross a road. We need to find a gap between two cars. Cars will be always passing. The strategy that if I come running and go very fast, then I will cross, most likely will get hit by another car. That's not a good strategy. So this kind of thing, I will be making faster, put a lot of effort, then only in this particular case, it will not work. Crossing a road, it doesn't matter about the force. And most of us, our strategies, our plans are like that. We give more effort. Okay, but more effort does not mean that things will not come on your way. If some car is coming faster, it will hit you, no matter how fast you try to run and cross the road. So the key is observe, focus. First you start focusing on the movement of the car. You try to understand the design. Everything else in this physical world is following certain kind of pattern, certain kind of it follows certain kind of rule. You try to find out that. If I'm crossing a road, then I'll say, okay, fine, left hand, right side. Which side they're following? So left hand drive, right hand drive. Which kind of country, which kind of road traffic law? If there is in a branch road, which type of car are going there? It is a small car or fast car, or if there is a lane, which lane has follow which rule? How they overtake each other, or if there is in a branch road from where there is a possibility some car will come and join in. And I had to choose some place whether it is not obstructionless, there is no barrier in between two roads and things like that. So once you have done that, you observe everything, are fully aware of the whole scenario, then you find a gap. Cars are always passing, they are not stopping for you. You'll find that car has gone, that has not come, the other one will take time, because that whole thing, it is in your mind. You know that will take some, 3 seconds more to come here, and it's a good enough time for me to cross. Then you find the gap and cross. So this is the clue to go beyond this. Otherwise, you make 10 attempts and get frustrated because either you come back or get hit by a car and things like that. Then you will slowly develop this as useless. This road cannot be crossed. That's what ultimately the lesson you will learn from there, and which is not correct. So here, same thing here for our growth. We have to first observe, find the gap, and then slowly go. This is not about how fast you are running or whether how much strength you have and thing, nothing to do with that. It's just to find the appropriate gap and just pass it. That's simple like that. So this, wherever it is, you have to find the gap and then grow, and it will ultimately it will lead you to some territory which is infinite potential. There is not much competition, not much traffic, nothing there. Okay. And end of that, it is only you, which is self-actualization. That's a different matter. But to go there, you have to go beyond that. So this law tells us going beyond that is not necessarily fighting with each other and killing each other, then win. No need. Just find the gap and pass through that layer. This particular, the strategy, we need to learn from nature. Everywhere in the nature, see, in a tree, so many leaves are there. They don't fight with each other. You never see two leaves are fighting with each other to grow and try to, one leaf should be off and then only another will grow. No. In a flower, the petals, they are designed in a certain way. Everybody can grow together, make a beautiful flower. You will not see the one is trying to push the other one on a different layer. They try to go here and there. No. They just come out beautifully. Everybody, all of them, they find the gap, the where to grow. They are all growing, and that is a fact. This is the law of the nature. Same as a tree. You will never see the two branches of a tree fighting with each other for the space. It is possible some people has done some mischief. They put some kind of stone or something on that block, but still they find a way out. So they grow. You go to a forest, thousands of trees, millions. They never fight with each other. Everybody has their own, the growth pattern, and also you will see the bigger trees are supporting the smaller trees below it and things like that. They're beautiful. There's a trickle-down effect. The bigger tree get the rain and then trickle it down to the small bushes and things below it. They're taking care of everything. Everything going fine. Everything is growing as per their own nature. Only in our human thing we don't allow that to happen. Because we are too smart. We have a free will. A forest, full forest of millions of trees, they can grow. So many, trillions of flowers and leaves can grow. but we cannot. We find it is difficult to grow. Our life, the prosperity doesn't grow. We are not getting better jobs. We are not getting better education, or the education we like to have. We are not getting too many competition. Business we wanted to run, it is being flopped most of the time, and something happens, and then some challenges come, some supply chain management comes, issue comes, and our business goes down, and all these kind of things are happening. So from here, if you take that, because nature is following universal law. That's why you don't see that kind of competition there. Whatever is happening, what's wrong happening in the forest or the trees, those are man-made. The chopping of the tree, cutting this and that's a different issue. But naturally, they don't do like that. So now let us talk about business. Okay, let's talk about money. That's fine. How to grow in the money? So fine. It's maybe it's good for the forest, but what about our business? There's a lot of complication and things like that. Truth is, the same law applies if you wanted to grow in the business. Okay. What you need to do, you need to study the market. The market is called market research, or there's some big shot MBAs are sitting there to do all this kind of analysis. That's good. There's nothing wrong in that. But ultimate aim should be you find the gap in the market. That is the area of your growth. One, if you have some, suppose we have in a street, you have some what is called tailor shop already. So you want to give another tailor shop. There will be competition. You will increasing the competition. And the tailor thing will be more. So you are basically adding to that competition, adding one more of the same thing which is available. So the business, whatever, it will be divided. But what about if you have the complementary thing? Find the gap, what they need. Maybe you will give a retail cloth store. Like people can buy cloth from there. So what is happening is you are in the complementary. Like people will buy cloth and then stitch there. So this is finding where the gap is. People need that. But what are the type of business, what are the type of things you offer based on what is the gap there? You find what is the gap. So if you put your effort in, your growth will be faster. Because that's the demand is there and there is no one. There is a competition is not there. So these are the type of thing is called the gap in the market. It can be only found by the studying and observing, clearly focusing, and then you find it and then put strategically, you put your business there, it will grow. So this is the kind of thing we need to learn for our growth principles. If we follow the other techniques, it will not grow. And also everything is changing. The world, the scenario is changing, demand is changing, the habit is changing. And to do that, you need to keep on finding the gap and reposition yourselves so that we can grow into that. Earlier we talked about some company which is earlier it was very famous, very strong, but now no longer there. Like Kodak, the film company. They got out of business because they could not follow the change with the time. They cannot follow the change because now everybody taking photo in the digital. Nobody uses the film. So if that company has find the gap and keep on improving itself, then it could have been survived. But otherwise, some point of the time, the gap does not mean it will stay there always. That is also moving. So that you need to position yourself, then improvise, and then that is the clue of it. Keep on finding the gap and position, and that is the clue that you can have then finally landed up into that your business growth into that. So this is about your business, same as a job. Job you find which is in demand, which is there people need it, but they don't have enough professionals. So if you get professional qualification on that particular those areas, naturally you will automatically will have high demand. Not necessarily what you originally learned. If the demand is not there, simply you will not get a job because there are too many. Or even if you get a job and your salary etc. will be much less because there are too many available already. If they give ad tomorrow, they will get another one. So why they will, any company will give more. They will pay more. It's just the market cycle. And similar way, if we have some kind of specialization that it is rare, nobody else is having, and also that who needs it. It's not necessarily, if you are a specialist in the wrong place, then you will be treated like anything else because they don't need it. Similar way, it is if we place ourselves, our competence, our expertise into that gap in that market or where the demand is, then it will automatically grow. It's a win-win scenario for that. So these are all strategic. Only it need to be analyzed, understood, and find the gap and pass through that gap. When we need to say, build a road in a mountain area, so we find that which gap we should pass through, which will have a minimum resistance or minimum up and down in an obstacle. Maybe between two mountains there is a gorge or there is a valley. We can pass through that valley. That's how we do all the roads, right? So same here. If we try to go here and there, it will not work. So we have to find that gap and pass through that. So this is this technique what we learn from nature and we grow. So next part is about the spiritual part of it. Before I go there, now if you have any question, I will answer for the practical things. Then I'll go to the spiritual territory after this. Okay, if you have any question, let me know on whatever we discussed so far. No question? All right. Okay. Fine. Let me go to another area then before going to the spiritual. In any art form or anything which is which we get in the senses, we call it a treat to our senses, like a music, say. Some music we enjoy wonderful. Maybe same tune or same the play. But if somebody plays it, we find it wonderful. If somebody else singing it or something, we don't feel it is. Sometimes somebody singing, we say, "Do you stop?" It's just so much. It becomes a cacophony. Like we don't like it. Same song. So what makes the difference? Why people pay so much of money to go to the live session to listen? And what is the difference between same song played by somebody else? Here the master knows, the maestro, they call this, who suppose, great musician. Who suppose, great the great musicians, they know only difference between the normal singer and the famous singer, their effect, the enchanting performance or soulful performance, those are the difference between, even if they're singing the same song or played the same music by the musician, the difference between the gap between two notes. They exactly know how much gap to be given between two notes. That is the expertise. Because every music, every vibration has some effect on us. That effect needs to be absorbed and realized. If you, before it is getting absorbed, if the next note comes, you will miss it. And if it is too long, then it will die down. You will feel bored. Okay. So they know exact to the microsecond level how much gap to be given. And that creates the effect. So here you are using the gap to go beyond what is obvious. Means in singing, everybody sing a song. So that's nothing new. Same words, same tune. But if somebody, if Lata Mangeshkar sings, it makes a difference. Or if Ravi Shankar plays the sitar, it makes difference. Same tune somebody else plays, it doesn't make that. Because of this, they exactly know how much pause to be given between note and where. They synchronize with, even with the breathing, exactly where to take the breath, because that disturbs that note, because we need to breathe. But they know exactly where to take that breath and then continue further. That creates a masterpiece. So here by the gap, you are going beyond obvious. Obvious means anybody else can sing. Okay, I can also sing. People will run away. But thing is, because that it needs practice to go into the level where you can go to the level where that microsecond level, that is a mastery. That minor thing makes the difference between the overall presentations. Also, there are other issues, that the vibrations and the echo and all those things. So they have become a master of all these things. They exactly know when that echo of that will come. So this is the kind of the perfection they are into. And that's why it becomes a great rendition, like you enjoy, because you are getting this vibration and that makes it beyond certain level. And the key is the gap. So, okay. Now, if you have any more question, then I just give one more area and let me know then before going to the spiritual. Any question?
Guruji, just one observation.
Yes.
When we say that survival of the fittest and fighting for survival, probably
Mm-hmm.
those words have been built up into our mindset. You have
Correct.
to fight for your this thing, rather than this word cooperation doesn't is not being taught, I think, from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Probably that is what has caused all this competition and rather than
Mm-hmm.
cooperation.
Yeah, that is correct. So, regarding competition and fighting, let us take an example. Let us see human history. How many fighting has happened? How many war has been fought? How many battles are fought? And what is the result? After so many of fighting, whatever the cause may be, if those are the solution to the problems what was had, by the time you could have perfect world, right? No problem at all. Everybody is happy. Everybody is prospering. Because you have fought so many things. All the devils are killed. So you are now in the world of perfectness, right? Where it is. So fundamental, that approach was flawed. Okay. We have been focused on the wrong things. It is a temporary patch, like a band-aid. It's not a solution. winning is not about killing your enemy. And in fact, in the realize, the wise ones, they say there is nothing called devil. There is no devil as such. And there is nothing called hell either. Okay. There is something beyond, but there is no hell. Devil is like just darkness. It is the absence of light. That's all. So there is no entity of the devil. So where all this killing business is coming from? That we created it. What you need to know to dispel the darkness, you have to bring light, and that's enough. You need to kill the darkness. To kill, you need another darkness to come. The darkness cannot remove darkness. So it's only light can dispel that. Enmity. To resolve the enmity, you need to kill the enemy. You're putting another enmity factor into by killing. No? If you kill someone, his son or his grandson will come and kill you. That's what was happening all over the history. They take that land or kingdom, and then somebody came and take it back, and this keep on going. So what does that mean? Removing enmity. Enmity cannot be removed by hatred or another enmity or killing. It can be removed by pure love. By pure love, when we convert a criminal into a saint, then you win. When by this cooperation and pure love you convert a demon into godly, then you win. No more enemy. Enmity has gone. Enemy has not gone. The enemy as a person has not gone. It's converted. That's what it means. It completely misunderstood that how removal of enmity means. You are suffering about some kind of darkness. Bring a light in. Don't go for the which darkness is better. That is better or that is better. It's still is darkness, still negative. So this is approach we fundamentally flawed. So whenever many masters came and give this teaching, and Jesus Christ came, he says, love thy neighbor. Means you convert this. Convert whoever is associated with you, convert them with pure love. This competition will automatically go. Because this is not winning if somebody is suffering. What kind of win is this? We have seen that some outstanding videos in some, competitions and all that the runners, one of them, they fall down and the other competitor came back and hold him and they all, cross the finish point together. See how wonderful it is. In other words, if you see, how does it matter one win? How does it matter? Even if you win Nobel Prize, how many will remember you after a few years? Nobody. Okay? You ask our generation, how many Nobel laureates they remember? So who won Nobel Prize in, say, 2005? Nobody knows. Okay. Only few who came to news for some other reason, maybe something. But normally nobody cares whether you win something or don't win something. It is only your satisfaction. So that is another point. Some of them who gone to that, name, fame, and the wealth, and the pinnacle of that, then they realize that uselessness of that. They thought this will help them to fulfill their life mission. I was just sharing earlier, their study has been done, not recently, a little bit back, but it makes some sense. They studied all the Fortune 500 company CEOs who left the company when they are at the top of their career. They resigned, or from that, the study was only to them, the reason for them to, and 90% of them, people thought maybe they were asking for more wealth, more money, more share of the company, and more parks, and things like that. More flexibility, more authority, less bureaucracy, and things like that. Surprisingly, none of them. They said, no, we have authority-wise, park-wise, monetary, nothing. We are all fine. We are being better. Bonuses and all this is better. It's nothing to do with that. Only thing is, the reason of left after reaching there, after having achieved everything we wanted in the career, we realized still that gap has not fulfilled. Still, we are not feeling that fullness. It's not there. We thought this will give you that, our competency, our ability and all. If we get that, and we'll be top in the competition, top in the market, we will give that. They didn't. And that's why we left. So what is that missing element? And this comes in the, Maslow's law of hierarchy of needs. The final one is self-actualization. There's nobody else there. It's only you. Your version, your understanding, your expression of the previous day, you have to just need it to make more polished next day. That's it. There is no good and bad there. Everything is good. Everything is excellent category. Everything is diamond. Only thing you are shining it better than yesterday. And that is ultimately fulfilling. Then doership goes in that level. There's no doership. You are just shining better. People will automatically get whatever they wanted to have from you. You be the expression of the energy and be the expression of love. Not expression, be love. Okay. Like a sun. Sun is not giving light. It is light. People are getting it. Okay. So if you come to that level, then you have to just express yourself. Things will happen. Express your love, express your energy, express the excellence. Not by competition. Okay. Just being yourself at your highest potential. Rest of the things will happen. People will get healed automatically. They will get a clue to their solution automatically. You need not to ration them and say, I'm busy now, come after 2 days. No need. Okay. They'll get everything. You just become, you are representing it. You are living that. And you are expressing, sharing that energy, that love and things that people need. And that is the mastery. That is the pinnacle, will give you ultimate purpose of your life has been served. So how to reach there? Now let me talk about the spiritual part. It all comes passing through the gap, but that gap is through awareness. First, you have to focus on what is actually cluttering you to be fully aware. First, you find the thoughts, to focus on the thoughts. Like an example, the traffic. We do it all the time. 6-step meditation, we do it. We practice it rather. First you watch the thoughts. That is Chitta Upasana. And then find each and every part of the thought, fourth step. Nirantar Jagruta. And then we find the gap. And when we find it, and then we try to go beyond that thought. So the thought layer has gone. We've gone to the territory of awareness. We also practice multi-point awareness and then expanded awareness. So we find the gap. Otherwise, thought will take us away all the time. We can never be one beyond the thought. Then what we do? You start our breathing. And then in breathing, I'm talking of the fifth step now. Sandhikal Jagruta. Sandhikal, at the Sandhikal, when we breathe in, so we have to find that gap, minor gap, Sandhikal. Momentarily, the movement stops. Because taking U-turn, you have to stop, then turn next one. So it's like a pendulum. It has to stop fraction of a second, then it goes the other side. You have to catch that. That is the gap. And that is the gap to go beyond. From the 3-dimensional world to 5-dimensional world. From this dimension, the third dimension of the physical reality, to energy dimension, which is a higher dimension. That is a gate. How gate works? When you breathe in, oxygen comes in, okay, through our air, and at the Sandhikal, that oxygen converts into prana, pranic energy, and then goes into our blood. That energy is transferred all over our body. So where oxygen is converting into prana, if we catch it at that moment, we go to the prana. Prana is energy. So we take that vehicle to enter into energy dimension, and that's it. We find the gap and use that prana as a vehicle to enter, and that's it. You are in that dimension, and that is where your soul consciousness is. That we do the expanded awareness and things from there. But we find the gap. If you don't find the gap, you will always be in the physical breathing. You will never be able to go to the prana. So these are the spiritual practices we do to go beyond. And that domain is infinite, unlimited. You tap into that, get some clue what works for you. All our paths are unique. I'm not saying same thing will work for everybody. I cannot give you a roadmap for each one of you. It's not possible because your path is unique. There is a soul's plan. There is a design. But how to maximize that will come on how much aware you are. Aware of your soul purpose, aware of the experiences you wanted to have, and then you make it happen the quickest. Earlier is better. So you have your schedule, then you go to further layer. So you dropped all these things, karma settled, this settled, you go beyond to liberty. Practical life will run on its own. So I'm not saying that suddenly you become like a winning a lottery or something like that. It doesn't matter that time. You are in a territory that you are always abundant. Because your sense, your experience of life is always abundant. Earlier you were thinking about your own problems and your own job and health and few family members and their problem, their struggle and their diseases and their success, failures and all this kind of stuff. Suddenly you'll come to a territory when you'll be able to maybe help 10 people other than your family. They're getting a help. Then you come 25, then 50. On the regular level, what a divine grace, what a blessing. You break that limitedness of your own problems. Yeah? You not only that you are managing, your life is still on. It's not that somebody has taken that for you. No, you're still there. Your so-called life problems are still there, but you go beyond. You are in a capacity. We're going to a level, then you are become a divine agent. You can help the humanity simply being the light, the express yourself, the human potential. All starts through that gap, going beyond the gap. So if you can go to the gap between the thoughts, or you go in this Sandikal Jagruta, or there is another one is through your heartbeat, you can also go there through with that synchronizing with the heartbeat, and then takes beyond. So these are the gaps to go beyond and to go to the infinite potential of a human being you have. In this life, you can attain both of them. Materialistically affluent, we are walking the path of Aishwaryavan Muktatma, the enlightened billionaire. So it is nothing to get rid of the, physical or wealth part of it. No, both all together. It's the two wings of a bird, like a strength. So one will be your, what is called the materialistic aspect, Aishwarya, and one is your spiritual Aishwarya Muktatma. But your tail is always love and gratitude to the divine, with the divine blessings and grace and gratitude. Whatever you have, it will not work, ultimately. So that is the lesson, and then the sky is infinite. Only thing you have to go beyond cloud, so that you don't fall under the rain and storm and things like that. So fly high. And truly, sky is the limit, because there is a limit on the sky. All right, so we'll conclude here. So if there is any more questions, so I'll answer now.
Sir, I'm audible.
Yes, Shweta.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you, sir, for everything. And sir, I would like to ask about this when you are saying to focus on that gap, and for example, when we are breathing, it is converting into prana. From there we lift up. So that energy, that prana. So we have to focus on that. That is just being observing, right? Or
yeah.
What? Can you elaborate a bit more?
Yeah, that we do our fifth step. No? So first we go through that the breathing cycle. At the turning point, if we are fully attentive, we focus on the turning point, then automatically the gateway between the higher dimension, energy dimension, this way it will open. So it will, the example I give, say you are entering a mall. Mall has an automatic sliding door. No? You need not to do anything. You have to just be in front of the door in the right position. The gateway will open and you enter into the mall. And you see that the difference between outside and inside. Inside there's air conditioner and things like that. So that change will happen. So only thing, you have to be aware of that particular spot and you have to be there. And then rest of the things will be taken care of automatically. You need to do anything. You have to be there. You need to do anything. Or another example I gave, suppose there is a lift is going up and down. So, and there is an automatic door, but everything is silent, but it is dark because of some reason it is no light there. It opens up for, say, half a second and closes. So you need to go out of that lift. So you have to be fully attentive that when it opens, and only then you will be able to go out. So you need to be continuously focused and be attentive on that. If I have been given the practice, so I'll be little smart. What I will do is I will touch the door, and I will know exactly when it opens, and so that I can go out. But if I say try to hear some sound and get some kind of feeling and then go, it's too late. By the time the door will close. Same here. It's the Sandhikal Jagruta. It's the awareness that takes you further. Awareness of that fraction of a second then takes you further. I just told that the prana part, that what happens, but that is not in your control. Only thing is, that is the place where you can have the bridge between the energy dimension and the physical dimension. So you have to cross the bridge, and that is the way to cross the bridge. Okay, Shweta?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, God bless you. Any other question?
Guruji, I have one question.
Yes, Kundan.
Actually, this is always a doubt in my mind from beginning. This is Sandhi Kal Jagrita. We are focusing on our breath when it is turning. So that point is in respect of time or in respect to place in body where it is turning.
It is not a time, not a place. You have to follow the breath cycle.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to follow the breath cycle and simply be aware of it. Means when it will take that, the momentarily when it stops, you have to catch that moment. So that's why you say start with your breathing cycle. So you have to go with the breathing. It's not a matter of time. It's a matter of going with the breathing, and whenever it takes turn, you have to simply be aware of it.
Whenever we are focusing on the breath, starting from entry at the nose and then going deep inside and then taking a turn.
Yes. So if you always be with the breath, so you will know when it is taking turn, or when it not taking turn, basically momentarily stops. Okay.
So actually it is in time, I think. This is called kal, means time.
Time is as and when you be there. It's not a clock time.
Right.
As and when your breathing will turn there, somebody take a long breathing, so it will take more time to reach there. Somebody take a short breathing, it will take shorter time to be there. But when it changes, it is momentary. It will not stay there for long.
Right.
Or if you try to hold the breath there, you ruin the whole thing. You know, people say, okay, I'll breathe in and hold, and then I'll be aware, and unless until be aware, usko chhodenge nahi. Then I'll live. Gone. The whole purpose is ruined there. So breathing should happen naturally. Only thing, you have to be aware. It will happen a certain moment. That's correct. In that part of it, it is a time related. But it is not that related to the clock time. It's individually, the cycles are different. That's what I mean. You have to follow it. As and when it happens, you have to be aware of it. That's all.
Actually, I have experienced this till now 4 or 5 times only. That is due to this confusion. How it happens, I am not able to find out. That's why I asked this question.
So that's why we say keep attempting till you feel the difference. You will see there is suddenly the feeling of expansion and the peacefulness. So like in the mall example, you can feel the difference between standing outside the mall and going inside the mall, right?
Right.
There is a change of environment. You will feel that. You cannot miss it if you pass through.
Correct, Guru. Yeah, I've got that experience. Thank you.
Good. So only thing is, this is a skill area. You have to keep practicing till you get through. Then every time it will be through, no issues. The masters, they just single breath, they go there. One breath. That's it.
Right.
Okay. They take the gap and go enter there. That's it. So, but only thing is, the main key is you have to be continuously be aware. To refresh your awareness, say maybe every nanosecond. Means don't leave it. Continuously follow. That's the key. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
All right. Okay. God bless you.
So, just one thing, Guruji. Once we are breathing in, it means only the oxygen is going in that is not getting converted into process during the term.
Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat?
The conversion of oxygen, inhaled oxygen, into prana only happens in the.
Again, you're breaking, but what I understood is you were asking whether only at that point the conversion happens or before after also happens. That's what your question is, right?
Hanji, 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 hanji.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
No,
right.
it happens only at that point.
Okay.
The conversion of oxygen into prana only happens when it momentarily stops. There it gets absorbed. The absorption happens only at the turning point. Others it is flowing. It is getting ready to get absorbed. And when exhalation, it is taking carbon dioxide out. Okay, so momentarily it happens only at that point. It gets absorbed and we take that conversion as our vehicle to enter into the pranic dimension. Okay, so it happens, the conversion happens only at that point, not before or after. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question actually, just related to the last question. There is two Sandhikal actually.
Okay.
One is that
Nirupam, 1 minute. Narendra ji, you have any question?
Yes. I have actually a comment. I must thank you for the session today. It's really very interesting and cleared a lot of doubts. One is that which I feel and learned during experience with you is that one should not get overindulged in the life. So we are aware, we are being there, but we should not become an extreme participant to be lost. So what is happening around, which I observe from the outside, is I think people are getting overindulged in the activities of life, and that is where the awareness is reduced, or the desire for awareness is not there. And secondly, it's I think it's a divine grace that who doesn't have a problem? Everybody has some kind of a problem every day. Everybody, irrespective. Once we are born on the earth, we have to. We are part. This is supposed to be. So once you accept there is problem, and in spite of your own problems, you are able to help, or you have a desire to help others. So what I've started feeling and telling people is that one should, in spite of anything, do some kind of spiritual or meditative practice daily, which is actually lacking. And so it is coming out naturally. It's not that purposefully we are doing it. For example, you are helping so many automatically. So it's, I think, also by the divine grace that this starts happening, that it's not a purpose or it's not a forced thing on you, but you do it naturally.
Yeah.
In spite of your own problems you are facing, which may be very serious, you're still able to help others and you have a desire to help others.
No, that's true. And see, there are two aspects is this area. When we charter into that territory, what happens is you get your life purpose, because you get, we call it a meaning of your life. Meaning.
Right.
Okay. Meaning you will not get the daily course of whatever your duties. You will not get there. One point of time, what I am doing here, this thing. It is in the search of meaning. And I give an example of that several top CEOs left the company because they didn't get a meaning of their life. They achieved whatever life can offer. Okay. But they didn't get that meaning of their life. And that's what they're searching for. What is this all about? Okay. And if it is they have achieved everything, why I'm not but joyful? I should be, dancing on the street in the joy.
Right.
So it's not happening because that is still missing. Your meaning of life, you still didn't get.
Yes.
So these things, what you voluntarily do, that fulfill the meaning of your life.
Right.
Okay, that part is there. And secondly, I just wanted to share something about just that helping others and all. It's not about like you are sacrificing your time or sharing your time. It's not like that. Okay, what happens is, if you share, your whatever you have, you give your knowledge or time or service or whatever for others, then your own problems will be automatically taken care of. That is the beauty of it. How it happens, nobody knows. People who are suffering tremendously and all, it's a very contradicting, because it is illogical. Somebody is suffering their own life, and some loss has happened, and they, financial trouble, relationship trouble, all this happening. I have guided them, you go and do some service for others. Could be.
Right.
Okay. So, means, मेरा अपना problem, like, I need help. How can I help? This is the normal reaction. But actually, that is the clue. And today's discussion, today's topic, that is the gap. If you're overburdened with your own problems, find the gap to help others. And when you go through that, when you go to that domain, your own problem, the impact of the problem will be reduced. Maybe physically they will be still there, but you will not get impacted. So this is the clue. Okay, that's a reward by itself. It's not about kisko kare, kisna hai, to whom I should help so that I can get maximum benefit. That's not help at all. It is still thinking of selfish way. Okay, give anything to anyone. Jisko marzi. It's not depending on to whom I should give, or it should be religious, or it should be spiritual, or it should be education I have to give, or I help with the money, or listen to something. Doesn't matter. As long as it is only thing is, it should be unconditional. Like, it should not be transactional. Okay, that's it. Then it will take you that level, and your problem will be automatically taken care of. Okay.
So the divine grace works.
Yes.
Yes, and so it is happening automatically. And I tell those people who come to me, for example, sometime I guide them to you to get higher spiritual growth, and they're really craving for it. And there's so many who doesn't have who don't know what to do. Yeah. And you're only becoming a medium. And I tell that I'm a medium because I have a divine instruction. There's no role which I'm playing. It's only by the grace of God that I'm supposed to do this. But I think, including me, all of us here and everywhere, their spiritual progress is also depending upon the past lives, what we have done, a grace or efforts in this direction. So we have reached, and we probably met you and got the technique. Not in millions of people, how many, so we can count. But we must thank ourselves, we appreciate the birth we got, we appreciate this life, and we have a great opportunity to do higher things than what we have been doing or we need to do. Right? Yes.
The truth is, when you are ready, the Guru Mandala will send some
representative. That's right.
Yeah, as simple as that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. God bless you. Yes, Nirupam?
Yeah, my question is regarding the last question of Harivanji regarding the conversion of oxygen into prana. So this related question is what I am having is that there is two sandhikal actually. So one is on the after when incoming breath stops and the external outgoing breath stops. I feel more comfortable and longer stay on this outgoing breath. After the outgoing breath, normally sandhikal is longer for me, and I enjoy that part more. So, but if you take it conversion prana, I think that part is missing in the outgoing breathing. How do you interpret it? That is my question.
Yeah, no, actually, the connection, the bridge, what I talked about, it opens both the places, bridge.
Yeah.
You can take anyone as per your choice. So, but these things, they do happen. It's not about really oxygen. It is just about converting something physical into energy, or vice versa. Okay, then the bridge opens. When the transaction happens, whether you are giving or receiving, bridge opens. So for your practice, you choose which is you are comfortable with. But both, like I call it two doors open to the same corridor. Okay, on the other side. You meet there. It's not that this one better or the breathing in is better road and that is not, it's not like that. They open to the same hallway. So whether you use gate number A or gate number 2, B, doesn't matter. Okay, but you choose, because it is fact. What you are saying is fact. Some we feel ourselves comfortable. You choose that because that works for you. That's fine. But there is no preference in the spiritual level. Both the places that transaction is happening, whether in or out, doesn't matter. Bridge opens up and you get in. Okay, that is the right understanding.